Hi, welcome to Sue Marie P. My name's Sue and today I've got a sunflower seed and oat cookie. I'm not going to put any flour in, but what I'm going to do, I'm going to transform my porridge oats into flour. If gluten-free is important, make sure you buy gluten-free oats, but I've just got regular porridge oats. So the first step you need to do is to pop your oven onto 160 degrees C, and I'll pop some other measurements above. It's about 180 if you don't have a fan. And the next thing we need to do is get some butter melted. So I've got unsalted butter here, 115 grams, which is about half a cup or 1 US stick. Whoops, there's a bit that jumped off. So we'll just gently melt that behind me. If you've got a microwave, you can do it in a microwave oven. Except I don't have a microwave oven. Now we're going to grind these oats. So I did some the other day and they become oat flour, which is a really simple way of having flour in the house, but just with oats. So I thought, I challenged myself, could I make a really tasty cookie with sunflower seeds and just oats and no extra flour? And these ones taste really good. They kind of remind me of an Anzac biscuit, but with sunflower seeds. So I've only got a small container, so I'm just going to do a few at a time in my NutriBuller. Doesn't take very long. If you've got a food processor, you can also do it in a food processor. Or if you're somewhere where you can buy ready-made oat flour, you can just buy ready-made oat flour. Grab a large bowl and just toss in the flour. I think I can do this in 2 goes. So this will make 1 cup or 150 grams of oat flour. That's done with our grinding. And if you find you've got a few little extra bits that didn't grind, it's okay, because what we're going to do is add another 85 grams of just oats. And grab a large spoon and just stir them around. And I've got some light brown sugar, half a cup. I like light brown sugar because it makes the cookies really chewy and soft. But if you've only got white sugar or caster sugar, you can throw that in. Just bear in mind it will be a bit crunchier. What I should have said also is I've already pre-toasted my sunflower seeds. I popped the oven on to 160 and just toasted them for 10 minutes in the preheated oven. And I've got 100 grams or 3/4 of a cup. So I'm going to throw them in. Look, if you're in a rush and you didn't want to toast them, that's fine. But the toasting just brings out some of the flavour of the sunflower seeds. And if you want to jump back over to my blog where the full recipe is at suemariep.com, I've also got some health benefits of sunflower seeds. They're jam-packed full of so many great things for you. I love eating them, and I've got a few different cookie recipes with sunflower seeds, and I'll put the links above for those as well. So the butter's all melted. So what I'm going to do now is pop in half a teaspoon of baking soda, or bicarb soda as it's called here in the UK. And it should start foaming up and become quite bubbly. And the other thing I'm going to add in, just to give it that kind of Anzac biscuit feel, is a tablespoon of golden syrup. But if you're avoiding too much sugar, you can leave it out. But it does add another kind of nice chewy dimension to the cookies. And I'll just melt that into the butter before I pour it in. And depending on how runny your mixture is, we may need to add a little bit of boiling water, but I'm just going to mix this in first and then add the water if we need it. Pour all that in. So we may need 1 or 2 tablespoons of boiling water. Let me just grab that. I've got my boiling water, so I'm just going to add in, I think I need 2 tablespoons today. And depending whether you've used rolled oats or porridge oats, you may just need to adjust the water content. Now the next thing we need to do is just rest this in the fridge for 30 minutes. So we're back with our sunflower seed oat cookies, and my dough's been chilling in the fridge and it's ready to start construction. That's what I call it, start rolling the balls. So I'm just going to make little ones today. So I'm just grabbing a teaspoon size, rolling it into a ball or thereabouts, and then popping it on the tray. If you want bigger ones, you can use an ice cream scoop. But I think the little ones are kind of better, because then you don't feel like you're having anything too naughty. And as we put them down, I'm just pressing them so they're flat. So because I'm making little ones today, I'll probably make more than 20. If you want bigger ones, you might make about 16. Make sure you don't put your cookies too close together because they need a little bit of room for spreading. I'm just going to do that. So we've got 6 per tray and I'm going to pop them in the oven for about 10 to 15 minutes. I'll keep an eye on them. So I'm going to keep continuing rolling with these. What I like to do is I like to pop the trays in the fridge while I'm waiting. My kitchen gets really warm because I have the door closed when I'm baking, and just to keep them nice and chilled, I pop them in the fridge in between baking because I just bake one tray at a time. A few tips when making cookies. You need to always chill the dough, always turns out better. Rest the cookies. This tray's just come out of the oven, so rest it for 10 minutes. If you find that the cookies have spread too much and you want to bring them in a little bit, what I suggest is grab something like a cookie circle and you just can kind of like start manipulating them while they're still hot and make them look a little bit more perfect. The other tip is never use a hot tray. It's better to have the cookies baking on a cool tray, and rest the cookies in between baking because you need to like do a little bit of a relay and bake one tray at a time. And once they're totally cooled, then pop them in a sealed container. And these style of cookies last for about 2 weeks. If you don't have a big family, that's great. Like us, we just can have these kind of almost healthy-ish cookies on standby. But if you've got a big family, they may not last 2 weeks. So there are a few little cookie tips. All my cookies are baked, and the last tray I've just grabbed out of the oven, and it needs to cool here for about 10 minutes before I transfer it over. Because when they first come out of the oven, they're still soft. So you need to just let them rest before you start moving them. So here's all the ones that have cooled down. I'm going to come a little bit closer and do a taste test. So I've got one that's been cooled for a while. So let me just do a little crunch. So it's got a nice crunchy kind of chewy outside, but a soft center. That's how I like them. If you like them not so soft, just cook them for another maybe 3 minutes so they're really crispy. That's my preferred way. My other recipes, I've added coconut. So this time I wanted to have one without coconut for anyone that doesn't like coconut. And I wanted to see if I could make a cookie recipe just using oats and no other flour. And I think this is a success. Just be a little bit patient when you're forming them. You might think they're a bit too crumbly, but they bake perfectly. If you've liked this today, hit the thumbs up. Share it with a friend, try baking them. Let me know in a comment below what you think, and please write a note if you want to see more recipes with oat flour, and I'll see what I can do. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye. I'll go and have my cuppa. See ya.